Hi, boys and girls. I'm so glad you're here today for another story. Today we have a guest reader, Miss Brooke. Enjoy!
God's Tiny Papermakers by Jane Landreth. Have you ever had the opportunity to look inside a hornet's nest? If not, you need to try it sometime, but only with an adult's help. First, a word of caution. Please do not do it in midsummer. Wait until winter comes. Frost and freezing temperatures will have killed the hornets that use the nest for their summer home. Hornets' nests come in different sizes, but they are all shaped like cones. If left alone, they may reach the size of a basketball by the end of summer. They're strong and lightweight no matter how big they get. Inside, you can find the most complicated example of insect papermaking you'll ever see. In fact, hornets are some of the most skilled papermakers in nature. They have an instinctive skill given by God. Some say that humans got the idea to make paper by watching hornets and their cousins, the wasps. The brittle white paper cells of a hornet's nest are less likely to be destroyed by wind and water than man-made paper because of the tight texture of the fibers. After the hard frosts of autumn and winter, the nest will be empty. Cold temperatures will kill all the hornets except the queens. Before the first frost, the new, young queens instinctively know a change is taking place. These queens leave their nests and seek shelter for the winter. They usually burrow deep into rotting wood or some other place where they remain protected from the bitter cold. The queens seem to know that they must survive the winter to breed again the following summer. Hornets are the largest of the social wasp family. They typically have brown and orange-yellow or black and white markings. The biggest hornets can reach up to 2 inches. They live in the forest and desert climates of North America, Asia, Africa, and Europe. They do not live in areas where it is cold year-round. Hornets rarely sting unless they feel threatened. Hornet stings are painful but not dangerous unless you have an allergic reaction to their stings. Hornets are good for gardens. They eat insects that are harmful to gardens. They usually hunt at night or in very little light. In the spring, queen hornets seem to have a strong, God-given instinct that awakens them from hibernation. It is time to build a new home. When queens find an old limb or a porch roof, they bite off tiny mouthfuls of dry wood. They grind it to a pulp, mixing it with their own saliva. When dry, this mixture turns into a strong wisp of thin paper. It is much like paper mache. Before the pulp loses its elasticity or the ability to stretch, the queens press it into the fork of a tree, branch, or porch roof. The foundation for the new homes are now secure. Day after day, the queens work, building up the nest layer upon layer. Soon the queen lays eggs in their nests. After the larvae hatch, the queen feeds the tiny larvae every day for 2 weeks. They chew up insects and bring them to the larvae to eat. The larvae fasten a silk cap to fit over the top of the cells so they will not fall out of their cells. Soon, the larvae turn into young hornets and they too go to work. As the colony grows, the new hornets add new layers of comb to the nest. They build a paper wrapper around the comb layers. They cover their entire nests except for entry holes at the top of the nests. Inside the combs, the queens lay more tiny white eggs. Once enough workers have emerged from the larvae, queens no longer work. They just lay eggs. The nests are suddenly a beehive of activity. The workers help the queens by making the nests larger, gathering food, or taking care of the new larvae. While they work, hornets must be aware of their enemy, the bat. Bats are one of the few animals that will eat adult hornets. Occasionally, animals such as weasels, raccoons, skunks, and rats are brave enough to attack hornets' nests to eat the larvae. Hornets' nests are a wonderful example of God's creativity in nature. By watching hornets work, humans have copied and improved their own papermaking skills. It is now possible for us to read from printed pages of all kinds. God thought of everything when He designed our world and all the creatures in it.